Hello YouTube world, MacDaddy191181 here with the Shade Tree Survivalist. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is going to be a flatbed gear list. So if you are in flatbedding or you are going to get into flatbedding, you might want to get you a piece of paper and a crayon, ink pen, pencil, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to write with, and take notes. I will try to put a gear list in the description box below the video. Just hit the little drop down arrow and it should drop right on down for you. We'll start out with the standard stuff, and I may have them mixed up a little bit in my gear list here, but these are very important items. Number one, a freaking tape measure, so you can double check the height of your loads, make sure they're legal. 13.6 is your maximum legal height. Okay, one of the big, if you're going to haul stretch loads and so forth, one of the big ones with the little hand crank to roll up, the 100-foot tape measures, that would be a really good idea also. But I had already shot this video, and way down at the bottom I'd put this, and I think this is one of the most valuable tools, so I wanted to put it as number one. Now we're going to get started with the rest of the gear list, and maybe this damn time around I'll get it squared away. But here you go. Number one, chains, 5/16 grade 100. Recently found out, which it was like 2 years ago, that they went from grade 70 up to grade 100 transport chain. Okay, it will be made into it like this Clevis, and we'll get to this here in a little bit, but it will be forged into the chain and the hook, okay, just like on this Clevis. This is a 3/4 inch 4 and 3/4 ton Clevis. But anywho, you'll need the chains, 5/16 grade 100, 10 minimum, but 12 or 14 if you own an operator. Same thing with your binders, 5/16 grade 100 transport. It has to be made into it, or it's, according to DOT regulations, it's not legal. Yes, you can go with 3/8 or bigger, but it all depends on what you're securing it to. Okay, if the working load limit of the chain is greater than what you're securing it to, the stake pocket, the chain tie down that's made into the deck, the side of the body of the trailer, whatever, if it is higher than that, then it's going to automatically go back down to the working load limit of what you're attached to, because otherwise it'll rip it out. The chain's still going to be intact, but the load's still loose. So whatever the working load limit is, on what you're tying it to, that's what matters, as well, of course, as the chains and the binders themselves. You will need 8 to 10 4x4 made out of oak, not pine. Pine is no good. Pine is too soft. If you take an I-beam and you lay it on its side, so just the narrow edges of the beam are laying on it, it will cut right through pine. Ask me how I know. In other words, landscaping timber and standard 4x4s that you can buy anywhere are useless. Matter of fact, if you go in and that's all you got, they'll run your butt out of there. You will need 10 rubber mats, approximately 1 foot wide by 4 feet long, 1 inch thick. Now these are anti-skid friction mats that your coil racks will set on and so forth. Your skidded coils, that keeps them from vibrating or walking across the deck or moving forward or backwards. You need 1 good load bar. The load bar is what you use to tighten the straps with, to break the binders and so forth. Now they make one that is specialized, that has a big fancy hook on the end of it that you can put the handle of your binder in, your snap binder, and pop it loose, and then when it snaps open real fast, it is designed to articulate so it don't snatch the bar out of your hands. But even then, you want to hang on that damn thing, because I have thrown one down there across the parking lot because I wasn't hanging on to it well enough. Though I don't like snap binders, I would prefer to have the ratcheting binders. You need a minimum of 1 4-inch strap for every roller, plus maybe a couple of spare ones in case you damage one, because a 1/4-inch nick, it's garbage, you throw it away. I had 14 on my trailer, and I think before I was all said and done, I had 16 or 18. I had the track that slid front to back, and at each end of that track there's a bolt with a nut that is probably Loctite into place so it doesn't back off real easy. I'll take that nut and that bolt out of the way. I put a couple more on there, put it back, and so I had more rollers. 6 to 14 or 20 2-inch ratcheting straps, the ones that you ratchet to tighten up. You know, you can buy the small ones for your pickup truck or whatever, and some little teeny tiny ones. Well, they make a 2-inch, they also make a 3-inch, and I believe I've even seen 4-inch ratchets. But I would have, I had down here 6, but I think on my trailer I had like 12 or 14. And that's the damn thing. At one time or another, I've used every chain and binder, every 4-inch strap, and every 2-inch strap just to secure one load. All of that combined to secure one load, and still wished I had more. Because I hauled a lot of non-standard loads where there were hundreds of little parts and big parts, and on pallets and individual, and it was just a freaking nightmare. 28 to infinity cardboard corner protectors, plastic corner protectors. Okay, the cardboard corner protectors, they look like a piece of angle iron, but they're, you know, depending on where you're getting them out of the foot, maybe 2 feet long. Got a lot of those hauling the styrofoam insulation from both Dow Chemical as well as Owens Corning. They provided them. V-boards, okay, it'd be 2 pieces of 1x4, 1x6, and they'd be pieces of strap stapled to them, and those would be for like hauling rolls of roofing, the roll roofing and so forth, and all kinds of different loads. So the V-boards, I'm sitting here trying to remember how many. It seemed like we had 12 of them, so, or maybe it was 14 of them, so you had 7 per side, but it just depends on what you're hauling. And usually on loads like that, the customer will tell you ahead of time how many you got to have before you come in there, and then you can take old straps, then instead of throwing them away, you keep the ones that are nicked, that are no good for anything else, separate. You want to have a pair of scissors. That's something else. This is for your gear check. A pair of good high quality scissors to cut up the 4-inch strap, and then a good stapler to staple them to boards to make V-boards with. And you want to make it so that one board's here, and the strap that connects them will give you that little bit of a gap right there, so they'll bend over and fold like this, and also enough so they'll fold flat together. Okay, when you're going to store them under the trailer or whatever the case may be. And if you're going to go and spend the money and build them, and you're an owner operator, make sure the lumber you're using is treated so that while they're stored under the trailer getting soaking wet and all and so forth, they don't sit there and just rot. I mean, you're spending the money, you might as well spend a few more dollars and get it squared away and do it right. Good pair of quality polycarbonate safety glasses. You need a couple pairs. One is clear, a pair that is amber or yellow for driving in dim weather where the light, there's enough light, the UV rays getting through, it bothers your eyes and makes you tired and sleepy, but they're bright enough that you know, you can still see. And then of course some that are sunglasses, really dark lenses, so when that sun's coming right straight at your face in the afternoon and the damn visor isn't quite low enough to keep it out of your eyes, that they help. You need a high quality reflective vest. The crap that they give you for free at these companies is garbage. The damn Velcro and all. Get your kind with the zipper in the front. It makes it so much better. Pair of coveralls. Okay, It's summertime, it's hot, you're running around in shorts or whatever the case may be. Well, when you get to where you're going, you don't want to get splinters or get cut by steel or whatever. And a lot of these places require long sleeves or you cannot load. Long pants or you cannot load, and closed-toe boots. All right, steel-toe boots would be a good idea. They make some with a, I want to say it's a fiberglass cap toe. And those are for environments where they require a safety boot with a cap toe to protect your feet, but are non-conductive, and you won't get electrocuted. But the coveralls you can put over your regular clothes. Get filthy, you can change right out of them real quick and easy. Roll them up, put them in the side box or whatever. If it's muddy outside, you don't want to get all over your clothes or whatever, you can just strip it right off and put it in the side box or under your bunk. Insulated coveralls during the winter time. Okay, let's say you're up in North Dakota loading a load of hay and it's snowing and it's -10 outside. All right, you don't have some coveralls, you're going to freaking freeze to death. You're going to get hurt. Need a couple pair of good heavy duty gloves. Flatbed will eat a set of gloves up. All it requires is you get them wet one time and they're toast. If they don't get wet, they'll last about a month. If they do get wet, they'll last one friggin' time. And they'll just fall apart. And in the winter, you want a set of heavy duty insulated work gloves, or you are going to be in a damn hurt locker. A headlamp for your hard hat that can attach to your hard hat, and or one with an elastic band so you can use it on your hard hat if it's required, or if you're somewhere that doesn't require a hard hat, you can put it over your cap or your head. Okay? These new LED ones, you want to keep spare batteries for them. The old style, it doesn't matter. You want to keep spare batteries for those. I already talked about the heavy duty work boots. Look, ladies and gentlemen, don't skimp on your safety equipment. Don't skimp on your comfort. Okay, get some where you can stand for hours in them and they'll still be comfortable. Long sleeve work shirts, already talked about that. That can be covered in the coveralls. But if you don't like coveralls, you can have long sleeve work shirts. A lot of steel mills, pipe manufacturers and so forth, you cannot load unless you have long sleeves on. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference how cold it is or how hot it is. You have to wear a long sleeve shirt or you will not get loaded, period. So you want to keep those in a truck. 10 coil racks. We've already discussed that in the how to haul the coils and video. You want to buy the one that allows you to take a standard square dunnage and lay in it, and it'll lay at an angle, versus the one where you have to have beveled timbers, because beveled timbers work good for that but don't work so well in other ones. Why duplicate the equipment when there's space is at a premium? I mean, if you only have one side box and maybe a little bit of storage on your headache rack, all this equipment takes up room and space. So you got to think about it. Why have a complete separate set of timbers just to haul coils when all you got to do is buy a specialized type of coil rack, and you can use standard 4x4 oak 4x4s to do the same thing. 20 to 30 steel corner protectors for your chains. And because if you're hauling coils and you've got to chain them, if you don't put the steel between the corner protector between the chain and the coil, you just bought the damn coil. You don't want to damage the coil, because I'm telling you, they'll reject it and then y'all gonna have to pay for the damn coil, and that ain't good for your career. 100 quality bungees with the S hook on the end that goes into the bungee cord already pre-bent. All right, don't skimp on bungee cords. The cheap ones tend to stretch out of shape real quick or break the first time. And that's something else, a little hint on that. First time you're using a bungee cord, stretch it a little bit, ease off. Stretch it a little further, ease off. Stretch it a little bit further, ease off. And don't be looking at it while you're pulling on it. If you're looking at it and it breaks, you just punch yourself in the damn face. Don't be putting your body weight into it, leaning against it pulling against it, where you're going to be off balance if it breaks, because there you go, you're going to go right over the side of the damn trailer and off on the ground, and everybody around you is going to laugh at you, because I will, I promise you. A roll of heavy-duty string, a roll of duct tape, preferably Gorilla, but Gorilla tape's very expensive, but a good high-quality roll of the big roll of duct tape. Absolutely 1,000,001 uses. Another big roll of electrical tape, another 1,000,001 uses. A fitted smoke tarp. If you're going to haul pipe, you're going to haul styrofoam insulation, there's a lot of different loads. You will need a smoke tarp. And just trying to take a piece of an old tarp and cut it up and trying to use it that way, all it's going to do is shred the hell out of it. Get one that's already fitted. Tie some ropes that are long enough to go from the top D-ring or the top eyelet all the way to the deck at a good angle, so you can pull them tight and so forth. Styrofoam insulation you cannot use bungee cords on, because when it gets to flapping, and it will destroy it, and the rope will not. So good heavy-duty rope will be a good idea, and I would put at least 4 of those on each side of your smoke tarp. Felt pads or scrap carpet and or the carpet insulation, the good stuff, not the crappy stuff. All of these can be used as corner protectors on steel, on concrete, on just all kinds of different loads, but they'll protect the load as well as your securement device, especially those real heavy duty thick felt ones that you get at Alcoa Aluminum or Arconic, or just any of the places that do aluminum coils or whatever. They're really good to protect your straps, your chains, and the load from your straps or chains. Let me see, what else? Okay, now we're getting down to the tools. Okay, we're going to emphasize your tape measure. A 25-footer is perfectly fine on all standard loads on a standard 48-foot or 53-foot trailer. The big 100-foot ones that you roll back up, those are great for oversized loads that are really wide, or the really long, like stretch tubing or stretch pipe or stretch poles or something of that nature. So that's one. Number 2, be a good high quality heavy duty hammer like this East Wing. Now I think this is a 20 ounce. Well, it's not stamped into it. I figured it would be stamped into it, but it is not. But this is an East Wing. A lot of the carpenters use it. You can buy this at Ace Hardware, True Value, any damn where. A good 18, 20 ounce hammer. 16, I think it actually start at 16 and go on up, but you don't need like a huge framing hammer. A standard size crowbar, because you're going to get pallets and stuff that are built around the load, and then you've got to take it apart in order to get the load off. A good drill motor, a drill, rechargeable drill. One of the new impact drills would be really good to take some of these cartons and crates and the dunnage apart, especially when you pick them up at the port and they've been shipped from overseas and they got screws and nails and all that. Now this is a huge example, but a set of channel locks. Now this is not exactly the one I would recommend, but the one I've got, my standard set are out in a pickup. But you see the little gears here, and yeah, you can see how they're made so you can make it, you know, for a smaller bolt head or whatever, down to a bigger one. And these here dig in. Standard pair of pliers. These are all beat up and all, but they still work just fine. They are adjustable also. They get bigger or smaller. Just got that little. See how it works? Real easy, nothing to it. Pair of wire pliers. If you're an owner-operator, you're going to be dealing with wires that break occasionally. These are cut wire, and they bend and secure the little butt connectors and the end connectors and so forth on there, and you can gauge your wires. Got a set of wire cutters up here, but these are not that good a wire cutter. But a set of dikes. These are AKA side cutters, but I call them dikes. That's what my dad called them. And the jaws are almost flush right there, and you can really, now this is a cheap set. These are not my Nippics, they're out in the shop. But these here, you can cut zip ties and so forth with them. Wire, real easy compared to the other set of wire cutters. Always need a Sharpie. Now this is a Magnum. You don't necessarily need a Magnum, but this is the closest one I had. That's something you would need. Magna tip, or a Magna screwdriver, bit driver. Okay, and they're called Magna because it's magnetized, and you put your tip, whatever type of tip it is, into the end, and it is magnetized. Hear it snap in? Hear that? But yeah, for screws. And the thing is nowadays everything's not flathead or Phillips head. It's usually a Torx head, and you'll need to know what size. The T15 and the T20s are your most common sizes, but I've also seen T25, so a good assortment of those would be a good idea. Crescent wrench. Now this is a small example, but I didn't want to go out digging around in the truck. I'd get a 12-inch one. I mean, a good big one. Matter of fact, I'd get 2 of them. So you, like with airlines and so forth, the old style fittings, you can take them right out. That is essential. A set of Allen wrenches. Okay, they make these in standard, which is inches, and in metric, which is millimeters and so forth. Pair of needle nose pliers, and some of them that have the spring where they open back up, that is very, very handy. These are essential. And finally, you can get something like this, a multi-tool type deal. This is a Stanley I picked up a while back, and they've got a little magnet tip end on them. I would prefer a regular screwdriver over that, but it also has a little saw, and it has a little knife blade, and on the other side it has a little adapter and some sockets, your standard sockets, as well as more of your magnet tip bits. Okay, so this is a neat little thing to have, pretty inexpensive. Got that at Wally World. And a Clevis. Now we started off with this. Sometimes you're going to get a hold of machinery or loads your chains are not long enough to go over, or they don't want chains over the load. It could crush it or destroy it. Get you a set of Clevises, and now these are 3/4 inches. May be too big, but you want it to equal the working load limit of your chain. So whatever the working load limit is, that's the size Clevis. Now this is heavier, but the holes that I was going through were that big, and I wanted it to have a snug fit. I bought these for one damn load. I spent $220. I bought so many of them. But the load was going, I want to say I was in Kentucky, and it went all the way to the Everglades, down south of Orlando, out in the swamp. I mean, out in the Everglades. And the only way to tie it down, because the chains were not long enough, and what I did is I ran the chain from the tie down in the deck up through the clevis, back down, and hooked it back on itself. So I used one binder there, chain under it, and then went up and down to the other side. I had enough chain to do that, and then run another one. So I actually had one chain, and I had 2 binders on it in order to get the load the way they wanted it. But it worked out really good. I got a photograph of it in, and I spoke about it in the video non-standard loads. Baby wipes, okay, some of the chem wipes that you can buy at the automotive places, something like that to wipe the grease off your hands. Nitrile gloves. If you're an owner-operator, carry a damn grease gun with you. If you're stuck out on the road over the weekend, you can grease your truck and trailer and get everything squared away. A good, high-quality air gauge for your tires to check them, and to do the inner tires on duals, get one with the straight end on it. They'll have a straight end and an angled end that come off sort of like that, and otherwise the inside duals, if the valve itself, the stem is not square on to you, you're not going to be able to get it on there. But let me draw a real quick picture while I'm thinking about it, and then that way you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, if I can get it. You see how that is? This one would get inside the duals, and then this angle one right here would get the outside tire real easy. So, because you know one of them's sticking out at you, the other one's sticking back in. So you need one that you can come around and hook on it like this, and the other one just to push straight on it. And that's, if you get one with a head like that, and that'll be fine. And what I would also do, instead of getting one of them cheap plastic airline hoses so you can air up your tires and all that, get one that's rubber, the red rubber hose, and just buy the hose, the 50-footer, and then buy you a glad hand with the correct end on it, and then the adapter to air up your tires, and then that way you got an airline versus that piece of crap plastic one, which is useless. It is freaking useless. What else? Oh, plastic coffee. I'm not advertising for folders, but what can you do with a plastic coffee can? Okay, say you need to drop your trailer over the weekend and bobtail somewhere. Well, you need to put a kingpin lock on it, or some bitch come right along and steal the damn thing. Number one, there are many different grades of kingpin locks. Buy the one that's steel, not aluminum. You hit aluminum with the fifth wheel of the truck 4 or 5 times, it'll bust. Then you pull out from under it, knock it off, and back right back under the damn thing and hook to it and haul ass. Buy the steel one. Where do you keep it? Because now it's got all that grease and all over it. Just get you a freaking coffee can. Kingpin lock will fit right in there. You put the lid on it, and you don't get that grease and crap all inside the cab of your truck. Beautiful thing. Milk crates are great. They're tough, they're durable, and you can store all kinds of stuff. You know, there's all kinds of plastic totes and all out there. Don't buy the cheap crap. Don't buy the cheap ones. Buy the really good ones, and you will not regret it, I promise you. Trying to think if there's any damn thing else. Something will pop in my head about the damn time I publish this video. I'm like, why the hell didn't I say something about that? I know everybody out there uses GPS nowadays. Buy a damn road atlas. GPSs can quit at any time. I mean, look at how many cell phones you've had since you've been an adult, and how out of the blue one day the damn thing just up and quits working. Will not boot up, will not do any damn thing. Do yourself a damn favor. Buy a damn road atlas and learn how to use the damn thing. Okay, I mean, yeah, it's antique and it's old school, and for thousands of years a map has helped people guide themselves around the freaking world. Okie dokie, so get a damn road atlas. Keep Gatorade and water or whatever type of drink, and leave the, if you're out tarping a load, or if you're out working your ass off in the heat and all, leave the Cokes, the coffee, and all that crap that's got caffeine and sugar the hell alone. Gatorade, water. Those are your two allies, okay? And in the summertime when you're sweating so much, if you do not drink Gatorade, then you get you some sunflower seeds or something that's really salty. Okay, it helps your body, keeps the electrolytes and all squared away, helps your body maintain liquid in it. Otherwise, you're going to get out there and you're going to have a heat stroke and be a heat casualty. All right, you get dizzy, fall off a damn load, break your face. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. I had it wrote down. I've been meaning to do this damn video and I just never do. The Sharpie markers, a notebook with clean paper, or some clean paper, typewriter papers, copy paper, I think you people nowadays would call it. So you can leave a note, like you're waiting in line on some guy to come pick, walk out there and tell you, all right, go get in the door, blah, blah, blah. Well, say you all of a sudden you got to go take a hockey. Or you got to go poop. All right, leave a note. Went to the bathroom, be right back. Stick it up there. Maybe leave your cell phone number on it. Take your cell phone with you. If the dude needs you, they can call you and say, hey, you're next in line. Get your butt up here in the door. Nothing such as that. Look, I'm wiping my hind end. I'll be right there. Give me a freaking break. The safety glasses, I think I already covered it, but you want some yellow or amber ones for night or evening driving. Working inside a place that's very dim, like steel mills. Their lighting sucks. Clear, but even better inside, but the tinted ones and so forth are really good on dreary days where there's snow or you're out in there with all that white sand or whatever to keep it from tiring you out, make you sleepy. And then of course when it's say it's wintertime and everything is white around you. The trees are white, the ground's white, the road's white, sky's white, but the sun's just booming. You'll be snowblind in no time. So dark shades for that. And then on those days it's overcast and it's still making you sleepy because of all the UV rays bouncing around, the amber ones with the UV protection, and then of course clear ones for night times and so forth, because I've had to do dropping hooks in the middle of the dark, and all I had for light was the lights on the back of the cab of the truck, which were freaking useless. And of course the little headlight, but you don't want to get popped in the eyeball with a bungee cord and you're by yourself. Do not use your damn cell phone while you're on top of the load, but it's a good idea to have it with you. Don't answer the damn thing, but if you were to fall or whatever and you're alone and you wake up from it, you could call for help. So that will be a good idea, but don't answer it. Don't talk, don't text. Do not become distracted while you're on top of the damn load. It's too easy to step in a hole that's under the tarp or step right offside the damn trailer. Ask me how I know. That's right, I've done it. And a 13.6 fall and you're 5'6", that's gonna be a damn splat. It's 19 feet off the damn ground. And your head hits concrete. Bad damn day. Break your neck, bust your skull wide open, massive internal injuries, put you in a wheelchair. So you got to think about it. Don't be distracted and have a plan of attack. Have it laid out in your mind. I mean, don't just rush right in and start slinging chains and this, that, and the other. Step back and look at the load. Plan how you're going to do it. And then stick to your plan unless you see it's not going to work. And if you do that, you'll be efficient. And efficient means you'll be fast and you'll get in and get out and you'll be safe. If you just jump right on it and just start slinging chains and binders and you're not even thinking about it, you're just thinking, blah, 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 blah. The faster I can get them on, the faster I can get out of it. Well, if you put them on in the wrong damn spot, you can damage the load, or the load will fall off the damn wagon. Or maybe you have to undo a bunch of crap to fix something and then put it all back because you didn't take the time to think before you do. And I think that's all. I guarantee you there's going to be something somewhere that is part of this, but at the same time it's not. It's like roll your tarps up as damn tight as you can get them. It makes them easier to pick up and handle. Makes them easier to store if you got an enclosed headache rack or a side box. It makes it a whole lot easier to store. Keep your stuff organized and put it right back in the same place every damn time, and that way you're not wasting time trying to hunt it down. That's one of my biggest things that pisses me off on the weekend, because used to. Because I'm only home every weekend or every other weekend, remembering where I put something the last damn time is a pain in the damn neck, and I spend half my weekends hunting stuff up that I should know where it's at, but now I've got this local job, I'm home every evening, I'm able to do a little bit of work during the week. Yeah, it's gonna be a mo better. But anywho, y'all be good. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video is some kind of helpful, and I'm telling you, this right here and a hammer and a few basic screwdrivers and other tools like that and the correct load bar make life a whole hell of a lot easier on you out there. And have a plan before you begin work trying to secure any load. regardless, this is MacDaddy 1911A1, and to all you flatbedders out there and all you other truck drivers out there, y'all be safe. Take care of each other, because ain't no damn body else going to. Dispatch don't care, the cops don't care, DOT don't care, the companies you're hauling the product for, none of them give a damn. It's up to you and me to take care of each other. So y'all be good to each other. Be respectful of each other. And be kind. MacDaddy, talk to you later.